Welcome back to lesson number 3 of term 3. Here we are at the Let's Talk About It sessions on Metta Minds with Miss Helmy. This week we're talking about the two things that kind of put a block in on our joy. And the starting point of that is when we blame others for or resent others for our own lack of feeling joy. We block that happy energy from coming right in. We've got to remember that we are the source of our own happiness, so we are in control of the things that we create in our lives. And that's why happiness is found all over the world, whether you're rich, you're poor, you're young, you're old, wherever you live, how much you have, your skin color, it doesn't matter. You can find happiness in any place. Therefore, none of those things create happiness. So happiness comes from within. So if happiness exists despite all those things around us, then how can we create that happiness in our lives? When we blame someone else for not feeling a particular way or not feeling happy, what we have there is resentment. And when we have that resentment, it blocks our joy. The reason we have that resentment could be because we're feeling a sense of guilt, shame, or fear within us that we aren't able to do this thing because of this reason. We aren't able to feel that joy because we won't let ourselves feel it. For me, guilt is a strong one of those emotions. Shifting that thinking to standing in your own truth and in your own strength and knowing and trusting that you are deserving of the joy in the first place, then that's how you can release that feeling of guilt, for example. The other block you might feel is ego. In the example above with the guilt, we don't have enough self-love, so we have guilt. With ego, we have too much self-love and it becomes egotistic. We think that we know better than everyone else. So last week I gave the example of giving a donation and then worrying about whether it would be used correctly or not because of our own ego. That's our ego not letting go of what the thing is and thinking that we know better. It can be as subtle as that, or even as much as someone trying to control or expect a certain behavior from you is also due to that sense of ego that they know better, that you should behave in a particular way. We have to release the ego and let that situation be as it is, and we have to release the guilt and let that situation be as it is. Turn our mind around and trying to think of it as being what it is and then move on. But how can we do that? How can we train our minds to do that? A good place to start is meditation or mindful activities, because it allows you to process your thoughts and analyze them without unconsciously letting them go or expressing them in a way that is going to hurt someone else. When we try and do this, we end up seeing the silver lining in the situation instead. And then we can make sure that we feel that joy, that happiness more and more, and we live in that space instead of a space of fear and guilt.